Phenomenal.
You know how it happens. You're treating their sprains, or fixing the trains, or trying too hard to come first. You sure got a thirst. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. A long, cold Vic.
It's so hard to have a gay time on your own. It could be that great chalk and biscuit coating.
So hard to have a gay time on your own.
It could be that...
I'm Danny, and I'm here to call out all you crack pack bitches. You think I don't see you there? I'm the OG of this shit. But you come after the king, you better come correct. I'm Danny, motherfucker. Who are you, crack pack? You smoke crack. You better watch your back.
Professor, would you say it's time for our viewers to crack each other's heads open and feast on the goo inside?
Yes, I would, Kent.
Damn, 3 nights in a row. Can you feel it? Are you ready? We get to play that. That's my favorite intro of all. 3 nights in a row. But you know what they say? It's not gay in a three-way with a honey. In the middle, there's some leeway. And last night, we had the wonderful American Bliss, which I do believe is up to 69% funded. Talk about a rocket underneath it. Going crazy. Love to see it. And also rockets. That's what we're here to do tonight. Helping Steve Dye and everyone involved on that magazine launch this thing into space, to the moon even. Mo Big calls it Launchapalooza 2. Yeah, it is. I didn't even realize that we were doing Launchapalooza 2 because I just don't pay attention to things. I don't know, but I'm honored. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. I love it. Launch streams are always my favorite thing to do. So thank you very much for hanging out here with us tonight on YouTube. YouTube, it's still called YouTube, isn't it? On YouTube and on Rumble. We are obviously simulcast live on Rumble as well. I'm going to refresh there. We've got some people watching there. Good to see. Good to see. Please do give the stream a like or a Rumble. Plus, I don't know, and get more people. It's gets it out there in the algorithm. Share it out, get more people in here, and we'll be able to launch this thing. All right. Past Master Dan asked, does VB stand for Virgin Birth? No, it's written right there. Victoria Bitter. Although I'm not bitter, the beer is bitter, and it is delicious if you're into that sort of thing. And why wouldn't you be? Let's go up to the top. Voyager 47. Voyager, is that your first? I can't remember because there's 2 Voyagers. I can't remember, but I had to make up a first thing for you. So I'm thinking it might be. So if it is, congratulations. Let me just add it here. Hold on a sec. I've got to move this over. Where is it? Going to move this over here. And come on, StreamYard, catch up. We have a show to do here. There he is. Look at Thank you, Voyager 47, for being the first. So we have Shane laughing down on us in surprise. The whole chat. We got Killer Squid in the house. Ran Nada. I will send the link out to Stephen Aldous in a second. But I'll just say before I do that, I'll say hello to Vault Kobold, AGE Comics. Dareman's in the house. Dareman, I'm enjoying your videos. Lord Raven is here. Mighty Magic. There's Aldous. The positivity overfloweth. And And as well, it will continue to overflow later on, directly after this show ends. CG Talk will be happening. I have a raid already set up. It's all sorted. We couldn't do it last week because it was on the new channel, but it is all done this week. So make sure you hang around after the show and jump over to Jeremy's, where Aldous will be there as well. We've got Dragon Pisces, Micros here, Mo Biggs, hail Mo Biggs. There is Lord Ravener, or Ravener, Son of Liberty Radio. And I'll say hello to WD Smith, Keen Scene, and Corey Landis, who says, shoot me like a rocket into space. Couldn't have put it better myself. All right, I'm going to send these fellas the link. There it goes off to Mission Control, to Steve Dye, and now to Aldous. Very good. It's been ages since we've had Steve on the channel. Great to have him back. I'll say hello to Past Master Dan. I'll say hello to Horror Mike. Horror Mike, do you hang out in this chat much? I don't know if I've seen you here. So welcome, and thank you so much for hanging. Who else have I got? Metal Movies and Brewskis. Old Hat Ale. Jonas Olsen is in the house. Everyone go follow Jonas. Is just an exquisite artist. He's actually starting to do a bit of Christmas things. I follow him over on Instagram. Fantastic artist. We've got Jasper in the house. How Jasper? Always great to see Jasper here. Who else? Who else do I spy? Who launches more often than this guy? Well, I'm not launching, but I'm launching launches. I'm helping some fantastic people out here in CG launch their books, like this man right here, Mr. Steve Dye. Welcome back to the show, my friend. How long's it been? It feels like it's been ages.
It's been a minute, Michael. Thank you for the very kind invitation. Yeah.
No, absolutely. It was either Cobalt or
I think we were launching Cobalt's book. Yeah, we were launching Havoc. Yeah.
Havoc. Yeah, man, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's
great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I apologize for everyone I can't say hello to, but I will say hello to Peter Orchard Studios because he says back Rocket 2, there'll be an exclusive interview with himself in there. Fantastic. Horror Mike says, first time Mike saw the news for your launch. Looks great. Oh, thank you very much. All right. Thank you for being here. Aldous.
There we go. Bring in the talent.
In from the farm. No, he's still muted. That's all right. He'll come in, I'm sure. All right. What are we doing here tonight? Oh, there he is. Hello. Calling in. Aldous, can you hear us?
How are we doing today, gentlemen?
He's there. Excellent. How you going, man?
Doing well. Thank you so much for letting us do this evening on your channel, Mike. We really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You know the launch streams are my favorite, so I'm always thrilled to be able to do another one. And this is the thrilling conclusion to Launchapalooza 2, because this is 3 in a row. We did the Comics Way book, we did American Bliss, and now we're doing Rocket Mission 2. Let me actually just pull it up here so that everyone can see what we're dealing with here. We will launch this thing in a few minutes. So yeah, again, please do like the stream, share it out. Let's get some more bums on these seats. Get some more people in here. I see we got 60 now on YouTube, 10 on Rumble. I want to say hello to Keen Scene and Ranada over there on Rumble. Thank you so much, fellas, for holding the fort over there. This is Rocket Mission 2. How was the reception to the first magazine?
Well, I thought it was pretty strong for a first-time outing.
Yep.
I was pleased with it. You know, obviously, you always want to see one do better than you want to do better. Certainly hope this one does. But I'm encouraged, Michael, by the fact that instead of me like waving my hands around in the air and describing what it is, there is such a thing as a Rocket 1, and it was very well received by the backers. It's big. It's thick.
It's a thick boy,
full of stuff. So, yeah.
It's like enthusiastic
about doing it again.
Amazing. Steve, Aldous, were you always involved in this, or did you become involved in it later on?
This actually goes back years. If you go back to early 2019, when we were coming out of the summer of love, going into the fall, and it was kind of entering that winter, and books were still launching, and Steve and I were talking about things that we loved. And Steve was talking about Wizard and Comics Buyer's Guide and the Comics Journal. And I love Epic Illustrated. That was just, it really resonated with me as a kid. And I was praising that. and heavy metal, and we just kind of got to talking, and man, this would be a great idea if something like this happened. It kind of fell by the wayside. A couple other things came up, and then man, with Rocket One, Steve's like, no, I'm going to do this. And we got together and I helped him kind of behind the scenes on some stuff. And then I was kind of been pushing him for a while to drop number 2. So when the opportunity came up and Steve was ready to go, we went ahead and threw this sucker out in the launch pad.
I loved Wizard. I've still got all my wizards. They're right down there. That stack there is a stack of wizards. And if for whatever reason that month's outing of comics wasn't your favorite, at least you had the wizard, which is always good, always. And it was that kind of thing went away where it's like, you want to kind of get that insight into what's happening out there, but also as a physical thing. I'm a big proponent of the YouTube and that sort of side of it. It's like a convention every day, but also we love printed stuff, and I think we can all identify with that. And I'm seeing it in the chat here. DMN says first issue was great. Sims in the chat, he says it's freaking awesome. The first 5 pages of Diamona in Rocket One are in Rocket One. Dal agrees Rocket One was worth it. People are digging it, and it's great to see. Oh, and I've also got a super chat here from Luke Stone. Best of luck on the launch, guys. Thanks for helping out the community Bandcraft. Guys, I'm loving doing this. So thank you so much for all the praise. Thanks, and thank you, Luke, for the super chat. All right, scrolling down here. Cool. Frod says nobody beats the Wiz. Well, we're gonna try here with Rocket. We're gonna bring back the feeling, but doing it our own way. With Steve at the helm here. So by signing up, okay, so this is just the sign up here for the thing. We will get this thing will turn live in a moment when we do the countdown. Is there anything else in particular you guys want to say before we go live on this one?
Just to echo your comments. Yeah, I mean, Wizard was a must buy for me. I've still got them stacked up against the wall. Along with certainly Epic Illustrated and Alter Ego. And I've always just been really fascinated with the creation that goes into comic books or movies or any form of entertainment, and there's I felt like that there was a place for a book that concentrates on Comicsgate and the independent comics crowd, and try to bring that same sort of spirit to it.
Death Metal says, I lost my entire collection of wizards due to an unfortunate amount of cat urine. You can't even put them up high to prevent from that because cats will get up there. That's a real shame. Camel's in the house. He says, I hope this does well. Did Camel say he's involved in this? He is.
Camel's featured in it, yeah.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Cool. All right. I'm just going to scroll down here and see anything else here. You know what? I might actually play the trailer before we go live so people can just get a little bit of an extra feel, and then we'll go live. We usually go live at about 15 minutes past.
There's not a whole lot to that one, Michael. That's just
okay. Well, then I won't.
Yeah. Well, it's really nice. It's a little bumper that my co-conspirator and longtime collaborator 3D Robin made for me, but I just threw it up there as a holding place, and Aldous actually put together the campaign video and did a great job with it.
All right, well, we'll wait then.
I can send you a link to that, Mike, if you want to play it before we launch.
There you go.
Is that the one? Yeah, okay, do that. How about we do that?
Yeah, there we go. Aldous is a problem solver.
Dale says, really glad to see alternate coverage in issue 2.
I am as well. I mean, Peter's got a really unique success story of his own, the way that he split off from conventional distribution, the way that he ascended from, I don't know if ascended is the right word, because he was a great comics book creator, but now he's got this whole line of comics that he distributes on the regular that are just great.
I'm a big fan of everything Pete does. He's a legend. Sim's in the chat here, says, hail Steve, and gives you one of these. Hail Sim, right back at you.
Right on, Sim.
Horror Mike says, love the Rocket 2 cover. Pete Cementi King Cryptid looks awesome. Alternate is fantastic. Do you want to let us know who was involved in that cover?
Well, EJ Moore just did the line work. Carlos Moreno D did a great job with the colors. I was knocked out by EJ's offer to do it. In fact, that kind of gave me a bit of a push. He got his first issue and really liked it, and reached out to me about would I be doing a second one. And I was like, well, I don't know, EJ, if I do a second one, will you do the cover? And he was very enthusiastic about it. So yeah, I mean, I guess it would be okay to say that the cover on the first one got kind of a lukewarm reception from the way it was launched. So yeah, I figure EJ Morges is the best insurance plan a guy could have. You know, it's fantastic work, and I'm stoked to have
I know when I first saw it, I just retweeted it straight away. Saying something, this looks wild. It looked really good cover, and I like, it's cool to see all these characters up there on the on the same cover there. All right, I just need to open up a new tab. I'll paste this in here. All right, here we go. Let's check out what Alice has put together, and then after this is done, I think it's time to launch this bad boy. All right, Chrome tab. Here we go.
Primary ignition.
Rocket Magazine, built to propel indie comics into the stratosphere. A modern ode to publications like Wizard, Epic Poster, Alter Ego, and Heavy Metal. Featuring Billy Tucci, Dan Fraga, Andy Smith, Peter Cimetti, and Mark Holt. Additional content from tutorials to previews from the Barton Brothers, Crowfire Studios, Keir Covington, Dean James, Rob Arnold, and many more. Become a part of the mission.
All right, fantastic. Let me close that one down and get this back up again, because this window, if I can find it, will become the campaign window in short order. Where did everyone go? Hold on a sec. There we go. All right. Are we all ready? Is everything set up?
Let's hoping I've checked all the boxes.
Hoping.
There we go.
What's going to happen is I'm going to play a countdown here. It goes for about 30 seconds. I suggest you make it live as soon as you can, in case there's any last minute alterations you need to do. Camel says, I guess I'm many more. Well, someone has to be. All right.
Well, and I knew of all the people that were involved, Camel would be the only one that went, why am I not included in the trailer? I'm sorry. The trailer was cut before you said yes. So what can I say? But
Daniel
Rob's
Russell
in there.
says,
Your co-host, Rob.
I was going to buy it until it said Rob.
No.
Maybe
no.
you should watch them out. No, I'm sure he's joking. All right. Okay. Hopefully you guys are ready. Yeah. Launch this thing as soon as you see the countdown trailer go live. I suggest you launch it. Everyone else, get your headphones in, turn them up loud. As you all know, the trailer's a bit quiet, so we want you to be able to hear it. And yeah, let's just friggin' do this. Let's launch Rocket Mission 2. Here we go.
Turn it up! Turn it up!
Here we go.
It's live, man, Steve. That was down to the wire too.
there was one little glitch. But, we caught
I
it.
say, get onto it quick, because you never quite know. All right, it is live. It is up and available. We're about to jump into this thing. Everyone, if you do back it, please do put your backer number right there in the chat so we can shout it out and give you a fist bump and say thank you. Jasper Player 9 for $10. Thank you for hosting, Mike. I had a great week. Best of luck on the launch, bros. Thank you so much,
Thank
Jasper.
you.
Man, a lot of super chats coming in. I'm feeling the love tonight. Thank you so much. Boom, says SDA. All right. Well, while we wait for some backer numbers to get in here, people are going to go in and figure out what they're going to back. Looks like we've got a few tiers on here. So I think let's just dive right into the campaign. First of all, can I ask, do you know how the first one was a big thick boy? Do you know how big this one's going to be?
Same deal, maybe thicker. We're still definitely 120 pages. You know, perfect bound, thick cardstock cover paper. It's going to be another big one. I've had a couple of things come in that are probably going to push us over that mark, but definitely 120 pages.
Whew. And it comes in at $25. That's a lot of bang for your buck. So yeah, jump on it if you can. I'm seeing some people already are. Alex the Ninja has stolen number 1 again. Hail, Alex. We got Dear Man here. He's number 4. Son of Liberty Radio was back in number 2. Randy is asking for the link. The link in the description will take you, but let me just pop it in again for you all so that you can grab that as well. There we go. I'll even put the link in over on Rumble.
And everybody that's backing, make sure when you're going to check out that you change that tip percentage for Indiegogo to 0.
Yes.
Don't give them an extra nickel, man.
They're already getting 5%. So don't worry about them. They're fine. They're just asking for more. And also there's actually a new, if you're on Chrome or Firefox, there's a new extension that Mark Burtonshaw came up with for us so that you can install on your browser. So it's automatically set at 0. So you don't have to worry about it. Some people got stung on Camel's one because Camel has some big tiers on there. I don't know how big the tiers you have on here. I mean, I see there's some pretty big ones. People are getting stung for like $60 tips.
I was a little reticent to, putting a great big headline right on the campaign page because it's kind enough of them to host my project and these other projects and so forth. But it was tempting, do not tip.
Yeah. Well, it's not like, it's not like, hey, don't tip. If you want to tip.
Well,
but just be aware of the tip. And I think the way that
you're,
they have it set up
be aware that you're not tipping the creator, however. So
exactly. Okay, Fraud79 back in number 8. Fantastic to see. Peter says robots don't need a tip. That's true. Sumo Thori back at number 10. How Sumo Thori? Awesome. I see you there. We got Von in the house. He says, let's launch this expedition. Mo wants to know, is the extension available for Internet Explorer? Asking for RTP. I don't know. We'll have to ask
Mosaic only.
Netscape. Arrogant 8 back in number 7. I trust anything Aldous recommends, but if he's actually involved, it's a must buy for me. Looking forward to it. Well, how Arrogant 8. There you go. That's
thanks, Abe.
It's sound recommendation for you, Aldous. There.
Yes, and right. For Ape too, man. Gnome Chimpsky got sent out to you today. I apologize. It was floating around my backseat and I didn't get it out last week. So the 2000 AD Gnome Chimpsky issue is on its way.
I wasn't aware there was a Gnome Chimpsky comic out there or something. But
it's a fantastic Vertigo inspired cover with Norm Chimpsky on it from 2000 AD. As soon as I saw it, I had to get it for Arrogant 8. So,
that's hilarious. All right, Dragon Pisces said, so forgive me if you explained this already, but what's the concept plot? So this is a magazine similar to the old Wizard magazines. Would you say it's similar to Heavy Metal or it's more Wizard? I don't.
Well, it's got some aspects of that, or Epic Illustrated, where there are, there's previews of some books that are about to come out, so that you've got sequential art and snippets of stories in there, 6 pages, 8 pages, 10 pages of stories. So it's certainly inspired in a lot of ways by Heavy Metal. And I might eventually, we got to get this ball rolling. And again, thank you for your help with that. But if I can get to a point where I feel certain that I can do some anthology stories, I would like to do that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be rad? Yeah, we had the Comic Sway guys on a couple of days ago, and they're doing their own anthology magazine as well. It's a zine at this point, but they have dreams. They're like, man, imagine if we could get enough people involved in it.
It looks cool. I wish them luck with it. Yeah, I wish them luck
it looks
with
really
it.
good.
Cool.
Camel Moon, back at number 13, and he backs nothing. Yeah, that's like the sixth. Camel's been here for 4 years. That's the sixth book he's backed. So that means something. Wow, the numbers are really starting to pile up now. Sim back at number 15. Daniel Russell back at number 16. And we haven't even gotten down into the content yet. This is the glorious cover by E.J. Morges, colors by Carlos Marino. And isn't it a thing of beauty? I'm just looking here. We've got She. We've got, remind me of her name.
Well, it's Andy Smith's character
from Andy's
yeah.
book. It's from Andy's book. King Cryptid, and this guy here from Black Flag. And this down here, is this who's this down here? Hold on, let me
that's Mark Polton.
That's the US assassin, isn't it?
Yes,
or is that
exactly?
Yeah,
no, it's US assassin.
Yeah, riding that rocket. Someone did actually say when I posted this on Twitter, like, what are the physics of riding a rocket?
Yeah, we can't really.
I was like, there's no physics. It's just superhero.
It's comic art.
EJ was the rule of cool.
Yeah, EJ was like, "Can you tell me more? What?" I'm like, "They're flying into battle, EJ. That's all you need to know. They're just flying into battle."
Penumbra, thank you so much.
Thank you, Randy. I feel bad that I pulled a blank on that.
Sam Rogers says, you said it was 120 pages. I'm guessing it's 5 stories, each 20 pages. No, it's not an anthology in that sense, although there are some previews and stuff. Article, Think Wizard. I don't know if you guys don't. We're saying Think Wizard, but some people might not have known Wizard. It's a magazine that, we'll get it. Let's get into it. Stop.
I could explain it, but it's down there. Scrolling down. All
right. So here we go. Let's look at it. So here's a thing here with Billy Tucci covering his covering She and stuff. I don't know. I'm just seeing this all for the first time. So maybe you guys want to talk a little bit about it. What sort of content are these articles? Are these interviews?
These are long form interviews, Michael, with Billy Tucci, with Dan Fraga, with Mark Polton, with Peter Samedi, and with Andy Smith. And first of all, the premise would be that I'm doing long form articles, question and answers, interviews with some of the more successful creators that have kind of, had the experience to kind of forge their path and find a way to the top. And beyond that, I hope that also brings attention to some of the work that you'll also find in the book that is from some guys that are, a little lesser known, maybe don't have quite the notoriety, don't have as many eyeballs on their project. So that's kind of the underlying premise. But there's long form interviews with Billy Tucci, Dan Fraga, Peter Samedi, Andy Smith, Mark Polton. And then there's also shorter spreads where I talk to some other guys, which we'll get into who that will be. I don't want to go on and on here, but that preface the previews of their upcoming works. And then in addition to that, as you'll see just below there, super fan art, for instance. One of the things that I really, really like is bringing attention to the wide breadth of talent that we have in this little microsphere. For instance, this is not to say that I had anything to do with it, but Keir Covington was featured in superfan art in the first magazine, and now he's doing a book for Alterna. Now his talent got him there. It had nothing to do with that's where Peter Samedi saw it, but at the same time, I really like that Keir. I featured him in the first issue, and then I'll have an interview with him and an actual excerpt from some of his King Cryptid work from Alterna in this coming issue, and Jay Potts, who did the magnificent back cover for Rocket, which was actually more well received. He was also in the superfan art section of the first magazine, and he's working on a really excellent book that I've been fortunate enough to see quite a bit of right now. So, it's great to bring some attention to creators that are maybe not as well known yet, but hey, maybe they'll be up there with Billy Tucci and Dan Fraga one of these days.
This is so cool. So we got Peter Orchard in the chat here. He's saying, hell yeah, seeing his page here now. That's Big Boy Robo, who I don't know if he's in the chat now, but he's definitely a regular. We see him around. So that's cool. Now look, now they're here presented in a magazine. Von says, I'd throw in on an issue of Rocket. Looks cool. Mo Big says, I'm considering launching my own audiobook form magazine called CG Tryptophan if I can secure interviews with PTP, Andy Smith, and Michael Ogden. Wow. That's just Mo's.
That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
There you go.
It's to help
Ogden
people.
himself, he will be.
Go on.
Yeah,
now.
Ogden's doing a tutorial on writing in this, and we got his partner from the Embrace, Dean James, to do an absolutely phenomenal breakdown on dynamics and how to design a panel. And I think if you scroll down, there's a preview of it after Camel Moon. But I mean, I also want to cite this. Camel was somebody that I was really pushing on Steve to get into this, because I think both his story and how he came into CG and everything that he's done is just fantastic. And he agreed, and we got Camel highlighted. So it's just great to be able to reach out, and everybody that we reached out to was super receptive, and what we got back always exceeded our expectations of what we were going to receive. And I can't compliment everybody enough. And the people even beyond those that we reached out to, that once we kind of started promoting it, came to us and said, I want to be in it, is even better. So, I mean, it's fantastic to see the enthusiasm to get something like this going. And it humbled us that there was such a response.
Fantastic.
I don't want to get sideways with my editor at large right off the bat when he's given such a good pitch, but he makes it sound as if I wasn't extremely enthusiastic about having Camel Moon involved in the pro. I mean, Camel bought me drinks. I mean, that's a surefire way to get your food.
Yeah, that's how you get into this book, everyone. Just find Steve. And
that will work. But no, I mean, you know, it's Camel's another guy where it's just it was an opportunity to kind of pick his brain on, you know, what brought you to this sphere, and you brought all this experience and expertise in animation, and how his Space Ghost parody just took off. And then, you know, he of course was told to knock it off by the powers that own that, and you know, he transformed that into something else, which turned out to be really, really successful as well, both in animated form, but also in book form. So that's, again, you know, I mean, I love a success story. So anyway, with all due respect to my editor at large, it's not as if he had to twist my arm to get Camel Moon in. I just want to be clear on that.
Eddie Winkler for 2 says he is back in number 17. Congrats and good luck. Loved the first book.
Thank you.
We have Dojo Kun in the house, back in number 18. Mission 1 was awesome. Looking forward to Mission 2.
Thank you.
Scrolling down here, make sure I don't want to miss any more backer numbers here. Hold on a sec. Yeah, guys, if you do put your backer numbers in there, see, make sure you put that like hashtag thing, the old pound sign. That's how I can sort of see it. And then he just says, you know, sorry guys, driving, can't respond to all. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, Eddie. All right, let's scroll down here because I want to see what you got for Camel here. There you go. Camel Moon, Boots and Nails, from Space Ghost to Hal Salad to Still Greater Heights. I've got them right here. I just got them the other day. My my little standees. I've got my little selection over there, eagerly awaiting when mine arrives. Camel's sending me one with myself and him. Sumo Thori says just gifted 5 memberships. Hal Sumo, thank you so much. You are a legend. And welcome Jefferson, Butterbear, Towhair, Riddlebox, and KSS. You are now all either new members or returning members. So thank you so much, Sumo. That is exceedingly generous. Looking here. So why comics? Why Comics Gate? What brought you here? It's cool. I like it. Yeah, interview form. I dig it. Really nice stuff. And here you go. Here's the dynamic storytelling in panel design by Dean. Busy. Dean's one of those guys who's just like improving in leaps and bounds. It's been pretty crazy to watch where he's sort of come from with his art to where he's heading. Very cool indeed.
Yeah, great stuff. And as Aldous has already said, and I will certainly attest, he put a lot of effort into that piece, and that's one of many pieces that's probably going to push me over the 120 page count, because there's a lot of great stuff.
Jasper's asking if you guys are going to be doing honest reviews. Are you going to be doing reviewing books, giving them scores and stuff?
Not within the pages of Rocket at this point. There is some talk about, not that we would attempt to compete with you, Michael, but we may put together a bit of a YouTube show where we'll be doing a bit of that. That it's there's been that call for a top 10 list, and there's been that call for a price guide and all of that. It's very difficult to pull off.
Yeah, the price guide would be cool. I don't know how it would work. I don't know how it would function.
I've looked at it a lot of different ways, and yeah, it spooks me a bit. I
Very
think it would
tricky,
be
but it would be cool. It was a big feature of the original Wizard magazine.
I want to bring attention to people that are taking their own road to success, that are applying their creativity. Certainly there is criticism within some of the pros within the magazine. There was in the first one, there will be within this one, but I don't necessarily want to set myself up or Aldous up or anybody else that works on it as an arbiter of taste, and certainly not as an arbiter of value. I mean, the price guide thing, that's really, yeah.
It's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing to navigate. I've decided, I did a couple of reviews on this channel, and it was fine, but one was really good, one was pretty lukewarm, and it didn't create any animosity or anything. I think just people didn't really watch them. That's the thing. It's like, it is important that we do have honest reviews floating around out there, but it's going to take a certain person to actually take on that mantle, because there's a lot of baggage that can come with that. And, it's not something that I really want to get into myself. And I see no issue with just, hey, let's have a hype magazine. Let's just have a hype magazine full of cool stuff that people are going to enjoy watching. It probably is better to keep reviews and stuff on YouTube. I think, because it's more, it just suits that format a bit better. That's my opinion anyway.
Well, that's what I think. And, and you can be a lot more timely than you can possibly do with a sort of periodical. And again, it's just, I mean, in a certain way, I'll just say that I've got to really, really think it's good. And, Aldous and a few others are involved in that consensus opinion. Certainly 3D Robin, who's my graphic designer, and I couldn't do this book without his immense talents. He weighs in from afar. And, if it's in here, I certainly think it's good. And, with 120 pages, or maybe it winds up being 138 or whatever, do I really want to, I don't want to say waste, but use page count and space that I could give to somebody that I think is putting out a really good product or has a lot of talent, just to decry somebody else's efforts? I don't think I want to be in that business.
Yeah. And as well, how, in your best possible case scenario, how often, to say these things go off crazy, how often do you think you would be able to put out an issue of Rocket? How regularly?
Well, there's two facets of that. There's two facets. There is certainly the aspect that there is more than you can fit in an annual. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of books coming out. There's a lot of people that I would like to portray. So there's that. There's actually three facets. There's that. There's the fact that I've spent a great many years doing monthly magazines. Now, I had a bit of a staff and a corporate credit card and some other things that I don't really have access to right now. But I would like to work my way up to doing it quarterly. And I think that's very, very doable. I can generate with the help of many other creators, they generate some of the content. I generate some of the content. I can put it together. But yeah, the most important facet, of course, would be you know, is it well received? Do people want to back
Mhm.
it? Do people want it
Yeah.
that often? You know, so I'd like to work my way up to
I think
quarterly.
quarterly sounds good. I actually used to do a zine myself. I was the editor in chief. I did all the graphic design. I sort of managed all the people who were sending in. It was all they were doing it all for free. It was all just sort of a community thing. They would send me articles, photos. I would put all together. We'd put out. The only thing that stopped me was the funding. I ended up
There you
having
go.
to, as being the editor in chief, I had to spend almost all of my time running around chasing advertisers for what they'd promised to pay me, and it just ended up becoming a massive money sink. But that's what the cool thing about crowdfunding is. You can hopefully at least temper a little bit of that. But I think if it seems very well received in the chat. I think if you could get this thing out quarterly and it becomes this thing, it's like people coming into the space, artists, writers, whoever, like,
There,
I
yeah,
want to be in Rocket magazine one day.
there's so much talent. I mean, you know, I hope to do certainly another one, and I want to get you into that one, Michael. You know, I mean, I wanted.
Oh yeah, I'd be honored.
There's so many creators, and there's so many worthy books, and there's so many stories that are, you know, very, very different. I mean, you and I, we both share somewhat of a background in publishing, but we've hardly gone down the exact same road, have we? You know, so
Yeah, quite
yeah, you know,
different.
there's a lot of content out there, and with sufficient backing, I you know, I'll also say that I feel like this could be a well received effort that people would enjoy getting on a periodical basis. But you know, I don't imagine it as the kind of thing that's going to go six figures over. And you know, I mean, if you can sell hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of books, perhaps you can just put one out every year or two. But I'd never really envisioned Rocket like that. I would like to be able to do it quarterly and, make a modest amount of money that allows me to keep doing it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And speaking of that, Citizen Ronin is back at number 20. You know what? We're 40 minutes in. We haven't even done a refresh here. So let's get onto it and see what we're looking at here. 16 backers. Now it sounds like there's more backers than that. If Citizen Ronin is 20, there's I've noticed this recently. There's a bit of a time delay in the backer numbers coming in here, but we're already at 15% funded. We are going to need to really pump this up to get it out there and get it done. A lot of work goes into these things. Let's jump through some of the perks here so we can have a look. I'm just going to make sure I'm logged out so I can jump in here. So the full payload will get you Rocket 1, Rocket 2, a t-shirt, a beanie, a koozie. Is that like a drink holder? A can,
Yes.
beer can
Keep your
holder?
beer cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
We call them stubby holders.
Yeah. Well, I like that better. Yeah. Koozies, but that's what they call them. And yeah, it keeps your beer cold. It's important.
Exactly. And poster and some stickers. And you get all that for $115 there. And there's already 2 of them claimed. Fantastic to see.
Fantastic.
So then
Thank
you can also just get the magazine by itself. You can get the magazine and a koozie. The magazine.
That's right up top because keeping your beer cold, you know, I feel like that's important.
Yeah, it's very important. You gotta it's all about priorities here. All right, hold on a sec. Hail KSS and Felix Haas for sharing out the links there in the chat. And I'm just going to check in. Get a bit of a drop off over on Rumble. I always see a bit more of an uptick when I say everyone. We are simulcast live on Rumble, trying to grow this space out into lots of different reaches of the internet, so that it's just more sustainable long term and safer for all of us. If the ban hammer ever comes our way. So if you are over on Rumble, please do consider subscribing over there. All right. Citizen Ronin says first issue was great. Looking forward to the second one. There you go. You got Joseph Dredd in the house. He says Hal Bancroft and Hal Comicsgate. Hal, right back at you, Joseph. Intergalactic Pro though, he says he's back in number 21. Hal, fantastic. Love to see it.
Sir.
Love to see it. All right, so you can get, I don't know, you might be a koozie man, you might be a beanie man. Are these available as add-ons as well? Do you wanna, like, pick and
I
choose?
just put them all in there. I want to sell the book, so there's various tiers where everyone, there's you can get it all, or you can get what you want. But I don't know, Michael. Just the interface with Indiegogo, I got to the point where I was just, I'm
You've had
just
enough.
moving. I'm just moving on.
Oh, here's a question from Sam Rogers. Does rocket stand for anything? Is there a specific reason? I mean, it looks pretty cool with the exclamation mark there, but just
Well, the metaphor is certainly let's launch this thing, and let's launch. And when I say this thing, I don't mean the magazine. I mean, the independent comic scene, the comic skate scene. Let's take it to the moon. Alice.
send it to the moon.
Yeah, yeah. And as a longtime magazine editor and publisher, it's really boring to call something features or departments or something like that. So I'm always looking for some sort of metaphor so that I can have my individual sections of the magazines have a related theme. So that's pretty much it.
You can get the t-shirt and extras. So there's a poster and badge stickers that comes with the magazine as well. There you go. You can get all these things together in little bundles here and there. Someone was asking if there's an add-on for the first issue as well, because it looks like you've only got the first issue available in this big payload one here.
Well, the first campaign is still in demand. So if you would like a physical copy, and I would hope that you would, go get one there. There is an add-on for it. I really struggle with the digital thing. I don't know if I want to launch into that or not. But briefly, there is an add-on for the first one as a digital. I will only do that because the physical version has long since been fulfilled and is out there. So
we have 100 people watching. I want to give a big thank you to everyone out there. Please do give the stream a like. It helps tell YouTube that this is something to watch, and it gets more eyeballs on the campaign, which is what we're all about. So please do that. And actually, after the stream is done, I know this is really weird, but I just learned that apparently comments are the things that help the algorithm the most. So if you want to leave a comment, if it's just like, hey, good luck. Good luck to the guys. Good luck to Steve. That would really help as well. It's such, this whole thing, we're building this platform just to, get these books out there in front of the most people possible. Sam says, yeah, Rocket is a great name. It really is. I like the exclamation mark. It's right. Plus it makes a rocket. So it is cool. It is cool. All right. Let me do another refresh because it sounds like you got a few more backers in here. It is up to 17 now, and
fantastic.
Hold me over it. 827. It's a big goal, but it's a big book. It's 120 pages. It's I can't imagine it's particularly cheap to print. And on top of that, there's a lot of. It sounds like there's a lot of work involved here. Steve's got. Who did you say your graphic designer was again? Sorry.
It's 3D Robin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He did the logo. He does the missing badges. A lot of the interior. The pretty little touches on the interior. That's all 3D Robin. And he's a great designer. I couldn't do it without it. And he's also a great sounding board.
I know from experience that these pages, they don't make themselves. And if you get 120 in one, that's a lot of work.
I lay it all out, but he provide, the little rockets that are ghosted into the background and the rocket going up the side and the page headers and things like that. The department heads, that's, I kind of put together something, and then he looks at it and says, well, that's a bit shit, isn't it, mate? Here, let me make that better. So,
is that how he talks?
That's
pretty mate. That's a bit shit.
Yeah. Let me just make a cup of tea, Steve, and I'll be back to tell you why that's shit.
I'm drinking tea right now. We're brothers from another mother. Peter Orchard says it's a great layout. Yeah, and on top of that, with all these words, someone has to make sure that there's no spelling errors, grammatical, all that sort of stuff in there as well. I don't know if Aldous is still here. He seems to be muted, but I'm sure
Aldous I'll let Aldous speak.
No, I've been
for
letting you
himself.
guys go.
Yeah, Aldous is a tremendous asset. You know, I mean, I'm kind of the grammar Nazi of the two of us, but he has great perspective on art and layout, and yeah, I mean, I humbly think that
Aldous is there with this big cane, like saying, "No,
one
that's
of
wrong."
one of us, or perhaps both of us, is the best editor in Comicsgate, in my opinion. So between the two of us, yeah.
Well,
defy
I'm not
you to
going to
find a
say
grammatical error.
anything because I have my own editor, and I'm very
Well, not to throw shade
precious.
on anybody. Yeah, not to throw shade. But,
With my Joe.
yeah.
But yeah, Aldous, I like whenever Aldous talks about editing, I love hearing it because he's all about, you know, saying what needs to be said, getting the best out of these creations that we're making, and I mean that can only help everyone, creators and readers alike. So yeah, I'm all about it. Raiden says Aldous is known for being soft spoken. Yeah, never says an
Yes.
opinion.
No. No, and that's the
Sergeant-
great part about working with Steve. If I could, we've known each other for so long that, you know, we can argue over something, and both of us know that we're coming at it for the best end quality product. So there's no hurt feelings or anybody takes anything the wrong way. So any screaming match we have back and forth, because we are both known for raising our voice and expressing ourselves,
which we do, yeah, which we do have, but yeah.
Well, we're men. We can take it. Sergeant Politeness is back in number 23. How Comicsgate. Daniel Russell is asking his Thunderbuns is fine. There's just a lot of It's just like IRL in real life just hit Joe with like hurricane after earthquake after everything this year. So he's taking a little break. You know, he's still working on comic book stuff. He's still editing and all that kind of stuff. But he's sort of taking a break from the public face of things for a while. But I said to him, I'm keeping your chair warm with a big legendary crack rock, so it'll be ready and warm for you whenever you want to come back. Jeremy says, "Oh, there's a 10-minute delay. Got plenty of time. We'll keep hanging out and selling this book." Yeah, Liam asked the same thing. Yeah, Joe's fine. It's just you know what it's like. Real life stuff comes in the way. Mo says Joe is taking time off from the show because he was diagnosed with narcolepsy. Turns out it was just a side effect of this show. All right, Mo. Talk about like saying it like it is. Damn.
Harsh.
Can we send Joe some liquor? He probably would appreciate it, but I don't know. I'll have to ask him. All right. Let me scroll back up. I think we got another backer there. Hold on. Let me refresh here. There we go. 2 more backers, 18%. I would love to see this get up to 20% funded, or at least over $1,000. Get this thing, get it to like proper pre-launch. You know, like what do they do? Just as the rockets like rumbling in the thing. Once it's fully funded, that's it. Like soaring into space.
Yeah, then it's
attaining orbit. That's how we're going to look at it here. All right. People saying, "What's up, Jeremy?" Oh yeah, and by the way, are you guys going to be continuing this over on Jeremy's later?
Yes, yeah, we'll be going right from this right over to CG Talk, and then around 12:30 or so, we'll be jumping over to 80s Made Consumers. So it's a whole evening with the Rocket crew. So join us for the party.
Excellent. For anyone who isn't aware, Jeremy has become a bit of a big deal lately with his House of the Dragon stuff. You know, getting a gazillion views and just crazy numbers over there with his subs and everything. So, as is smart to do on YouTube, you don't want to divide your audiences, especially when one audience is clearly dwarfing another audience. So he has kept his existing channel for House of the Dragon stuff only, and he's moved over to this channel here, which is Lord Crackhead Live Comic Talk. So do make sure you are all signed up to that. I will put the link in the description here, so make sure you are subscribed. That's where they'll be heading afterwards. If you go over to the House of the Dragon channel, you might not. I mean, you'll probably see some cool House of the Dragon content, but you won't see Rocket Magazine or Steve or Aldous or anyone. So Make sure you are subbed over there. That's starting, it looks like, in about 20 minutes. And this stream will raid directly over there anyway. So you're forced. You're stuck. You can't
It's
escape.
like stumbling from bar to bar.
Exactly. It's like it's like what is it? A bar crawl?
There you
Pub
go.
crawl?
Yeah, pub crawl. Yeah.
I just wish
It's a stream
YouTube
crawl, if you will.
The stream crawl. I just wish YouTube made it easier. It's a whole friggin' rigmarole. There's so many times I want to raid someone, but they have to go in and do their thing, and it's a whole. And yeah, there's quite a few boomers in CG, and I'm one of them. But at least somehow I figured it out. All right, Comicscape bar crawl, says Joseph. Yeah, I know, right? It's fun. It's fun. There it is. Oh, he's got his own. He's got his own thing here. He wants a wrench. All right, I think that's a good idea. This is Jeremy's new. If I can find my wrench video, here it is. LCH live comic talk. You are now wrenched, my friend. There you go. Another day, another wrench. Always like to give them
Never
out.
gets old.
It says boomer and proud. Arrogant ape. CG equals CG Gramps. Well, some of the shows are a bit like that, I have to say. The Band of Baldies. That show. It's all right. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun, everyone. All right. I got so many windows open. I need to close some things. I'm a bit lost here. All right, there we go. Yeah, Steve, I'm really digging it. I'm really happy that you have had such a good response to the first one. I must admit, I was a little bit skeptical because we're all about going the new way, and everything's on YouTube now. Everything's on the internet. Why do we need physical things? I think we've learned over the last couple of years that we absolutely need physical things. It's not going away, and I dig it. I really dig what you're doing here, and I think we need it. We need that. How do you word it? So it's like a sense of prestige that comes with appearing in an actual magazine. It's something that you can aspire to if you're new, and it's something it's like a feather in your cap if you're a more established guy.
I mean, I feel that way about it. Admittedly, I'm obviously a bit of a dinosaur, but seeing your actual work in print is like nothing else. And it's the things that are only published on the phone, on the internet. It's just kind of like whispers in the wind. It doesn't have that air of permanence. At least it doesn't to me. So again,
what a big thing, like a big example of that is watches, wristwatches. Wristwatches used to be a heirloom item that was handed down from father to son or mother to daughter, and they would, some of them would go on for a very, very long time. And now, like the big cool wristwatch is an Apple Watch, which has a planned expiry
planned
date,
obsolescence. Yeah,
exactly. And it's like and I was when I heard about that, I was like, yeah, that's true. It's like that's a sort of connection to the history that you just lose straight away. And as people are pointing out, you can't cancel physical media. You can't change it after the fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's printed.
In comics is such a visual medium, and to me, magazines are as well. A well-designed magazine spread to me is very appealing to look at. And you're going to scroll that image around on your phone. It's not the same thing. It's not even the same thing on a good-sized computer screen as it is actually, holding it in your hands, being able to carry it out on the front porch or wherever it is you like to read.
Right. Well, and if I could add to that a little bit too, one of the things that has come up recently, and I've seen a lot of people talk about, is the AI art aspect. And one of the things that artists are really bristling at is the lack of soul in AI generated art. There's no essence to it. I think that's true as a comic fan. That's true for me for digital. If I can hold it, there's a sense of essence there. There's a sense of something's alive. And it's the same thing that's true for this magazine. There's a sense of, you get a sense of the depth of the creator by looking at this. And you look at something like a preview that Crowfire Studios, Arvid's doing in this of Band of the Crow, you know, that book's not coming out for another year, but here you go. You can get a piece of it. You can see what he's pouring his energy into and why he's so excited about it. And it's different when you see it on the page than if you just see it on his YouTube stream and he's showing you the drawings that he's gotten so far. There's a little bit more weight to it, and it gets you that much more excited about it and pumped for it.
Oh, absolutely. I've been instructed to refresh, so we will go up here and I will obey. 19 backers turns into 22, which means we are up over 20% funded and $1,000 raised. Congratulations. 20% other way. Ain't cheap. We got a super chat here from Liam. He says Kakashi Murder Dolls will be going to print this week. Congratulations, Liam. 60 plus pages of Aussie manga for $25. Can't do this without you guys. Thank you so much for the super chat, Liam. Go check that out if you are into some Aussie manga. KSS says AI art. There's no sex in it. It's violence. Everything's zen. Everything's zen. I don't think so. Yeah, look, I mean, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like to me, AI art looks like it's just taking existing artists' things and just sticking them all together onto a thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's going to change. I don't know. Mo says you can literally hear the soul of the musician on vinyl. It sounds like a hiss. Well, that's very deep.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Very deep. I haven't listened to vinyl in since the late 80s, when we got rid of it for the CD player back in those days. Remember those but
CD
players that would play like 12 things at once?
Yeah, well, I can't say I've kept up on my collection, and again, I'm a bit of a dinosaur, but in the early stages of my life, that's how I'd go to my uncle's or my older friend's house and I'd go through their albums. They'd have gatefold album art, and I mean, that's even more than the bandwidth, and it would be a completely different show to talk about the horrific things Pro Tools has done to modern music, but there used to be album art, gatefolds, pull-out sleeves, all that, and in no way does a CD cover begin to compare to that. So, I mean, time moves on, but there's a lot to be said for full-size physical things.
Time moves on, but cool is still cool. And if you look at how fashion works and what people want and talk about, I mean, it all does seem to come full circle. People look back to quality, and you feel bad for kids who grow up not realizing sort of what they were missing out on, because a lot of this stuff gets lost because now it's like, oh, it's not financially feasible to do large scale, and it's not what's in trend and all this sort of stuff, until what happens is cool independent people who have their own mind and visions end up making something that's so cool everyone has to sort of pay attention. Hopefully that's what we're doing here. Von agrees. He says album art is so badass. A lot of that stuff influences me. Yeah, it's really, really cool stuff. All right, I think I'm going to do a final refresh here, and then I'm going to let you guys go, because it's good to have a little break.
Thanks so much, Michael. Really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you very much to all the backers.
Guys, I love doing this. I mean, yeah, we had 100 people in here, people over on Rumble as well. There's a genuine crowd out there who are interested in seeing this stuff happen. So congratulations to you guys for pulling it off against all odds. You've just picked up another 2 backers, $1,191 raised. The pub crawl is next heading over to Jeremy's comic book channel. It will automatically raid over there. They'll be starting in a few minutes, so make sure you jump over there and keep the party going. I want to thank Steve. I want to thank Aldous for coming on and launching on this channel. Launch streams are always my favorite, so I'm always looking for a new one to do. So thank you very much.
You do a great service to the community as a whole, if we can still call it a community. And I really appreciate how you bring people on and help them get a toehold.
Thank you so much. We got last one in here, Z Comics back at number 29. Hal Z, thank you so
sir.
Much, man. That is awesome. I don't know if it will show up on the thing yet, but all right. as always, I mean, especially on a launch stream, the biggest thank you goes out to you guys in the chat, the backers, the fans, everyone
to the
hanging out,
backers.
making this, as Mo Big calls it, a community of like-minded individuals. You guys rock. You guys are, as always, the most amazing, spectacular, incredible, and always phenomenal, sexiest chat in all CG. I will see you guys tomorrow for a draw stream. Until then, hope you have a great night. All right, bye.
Individually, we are weak, like a single twig, but as a bundle, we form a mighty